Phew, God, those suck. And I kind of pussied out on them right there. On this set of swings, I want you to watch what I'm doing with my other hand. And a big reason a lot of people switch over to kettlebells is because it's going to allow us to be in a stronger position and a much safer position for our wrist. What's going on, guys? Pat Damiano here, coming to you from the garage once again for a really awesome workout that I'm excited for. This one's gonna have a very minimalistic approach to it. So the workout for today is just going to be 2 pieces of equipment and that's it. Every set, every exercise, every rep, we are not gonna deviate from those 2 pieces of equipment. This is something I've always just enjoyed doing from time to time. I love the idea and the concept of a very minimalistic approach to training. You don't need a ton of space, you don't need a ton of time, and you don't need a ton of equipment to get in awesome shape. Just some good old-fashioned hard work and a couple pieces of equipment. People have been doing it for years and years, and I just love the idea of it. Now, of course, on the flip side, modern day society has allowed us to have access to a bunch of different weights and pieces of equipment. You walk into a gym, you see hundreds of machines, you see rowers, you see skiers, there's medicine balls, kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells, thousands of pounds of weights, so many different things. And it is awesome because it allows people to explore different styles of training, which is something I love to do, which is why I still do use a bunch of different pieces of equipment. But this minimalistic approach is something I always like to preach to people because not everybody can be going to the gym or has access to a bunch of different pieces of equipment. So I always like to show people it is very much so possible to get in amazing shape with just a couple pieces of equipment in your garage, your living room, your backyard, whatever it may be. You know, some people are stuck at home when it comes to with their kids or with work or something along those lines. So it is always good to know that just a couple pieces of equipment and some good old-fashioned hard work can get you in the best shape of your life. And I'm gonna show you guys that today with just 1 kettlebell and 1 club. I'm excited for this one. We're gonna be getting after it. Let's hit it. If you want to gain functional strength, conditioning, and mobility using simple to follow and time-efficient workouts, then go ahead and click the link in my description and get 75% off your first 4 weeks of training. 40 minutes a day, 4 times a week is all you need, and the best part is you can do them at home. So just kind of warming up a little bit, sitting in the bottom of a squat to open my hips up. So these are the tools of the trade for today. We have 1 70-pound kettlebell, or 32 kilos for my non-Americans, and a 45-pound club, or what, like 20 or so, 21 kilos for my non-Americans. And this is all we're gonna be using today. Now, yes, I know this is an adjustable club and I can make this 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on, but I'm just leaving it at 40 for today, or 45. Really one to like prove the point, but also that's just what the weight I would need for this workout for today. So again, not a ton of space needed. I mean, I'm going to be in my garage, which is 15 by 15 feet or something like that. I need a quarter of that for this workout. So not a lot of space, not a lot of time, not a ton of equipment is needed. It is something I always try and get to people. I talk to a lot of people who use kettlebells, obviously, and a big reason a lot of people switch over to kettlebells is because they now have to work out from home. So maybe you're a new dad, maybe you just started working from home, whatever it might be. There's a lot of people who work, or you hate going to the gym. There's a lot of people who fucking hate going to the gym because of time and they just don't like it. So a lot of people like using kettlebells because you can use them in your living room, your backyard, your garage. You don't need a ton of space, right? And I know you can build a gym like I have in my backyard, but not a lot of people can do that or can put a barbell in their living room, you know? So just to get home the point is you don't need a ton of space specifically for these 2 pieces of equipment, but just in general. You know, if you're willing to work hard and you're willing to challenge yourself in different ways, you know, you're not gonna need 25 kettlebells. You're not gonna need a whole barbell and 1,000 pounds of plates. Need a few pieces of equipment. You know, maybe you're not gonna go to the Olympics and win any 100-meter sprints or lift 400 pounds over your head, but you can get in amazing shape, you can get strong, you can get conditioned, you can get mobile, and you can do some really awesome things with just a couple pieces of equipment. These 2 specifically are a hell of a combo. They are probably my 2 favorite pieces. And there's just so much you can do with them if you learn how to use them, learn how to progress properly, and learn how to really challenge yourself. Because at the end of the day, that is the most important part is, can you challenge yourself? Can you push yourself? You can use the fanciest, most high-tech equipment, newest stuff and use all the science and all the best of everything, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to work hard and push yourself, it is not going to happen. You know, someone with these two pieces of equipment that's going to get after it 4 or 5 times a week hard and really push themselves and progress is going to end up seeing better results than the person who is overly obsessed with using the newest, best shit all the time. But that's just my thought process, right? That's my bias towards this type of stuff. But yeah, that's it. All right, let's get a little bit more warmed up and we're going to get after it. All right, so we are getting into our first actual set of work. So we're going to have 3 different supersets. 1 exercise with the kettlebell, 1 exercise with the club. We're going to do 4 sets, then move on to the second superset and then the third, so 12 total sets of work. All right, so first one is going to be a single arm swing with our kettlebell. All right, again, 70 pounds, 32 kilos, 8 on each side. If you can hear that siren, I'm sorry. All right, so exercise with the club is going to be a front squat with the club. So we're going to hold the club out in front of us. Elbows not touching the body, so we're going to get them off just a little bit to really challenge that upper body. And we're just going to squat down. One of the best squatting options you can do in terms of mobility. You're going to be able to get super low with this. 10 reps. All right, 1 set down. I might bump the reps up a little bit on the swings, maybe both. I think I'm gonna go 10 on each arm and then 12 squats with the club. That's the beauty of something like this, and that's what I'm trying to kind of get across in a concept like this is you might see a workout written and say, oh, 8 single arm swings, my kettlebells are too light for that. Cool, do more reps, do 10, do 12, do 15. There's technically endless ways you can challenge yourself. I'm not saying do 8 million kettlebell swings, but you know, with minimal equipment, you can get a lot done. You can still progress. Week 1, you do 8 reps. Week 2, you do 10, then 12, then 15. Then you play around with the tempo, so on and so forth, whatever it is. All right, but that's 1 of 4 down. Gonna change the reps, make this just a little bit more challenging. All right, on to the 4th and final set of this. Did bump the reps up, 10 swings on each side, 12 with the squats. On this set of swings, I want you to watch what I'm doing with my other hand. So my other hand is helping. It's not just dangling out to the side. A lot of people do this when they're doing single arm swings. They don't really know what to do with their other hand. So I'm swinging my left hand. As I swing my left hand back between my legs, my right hand is gonna come with me. And then as I extend up and my left arm extends in the swing, my right arm is also going to come forward. It's like the idea of jumping. You wanna use both hands to be as explosive and as efficient as possible. So again, my left hand goes back in the swing, my right hand is gonna come up with it. What I tell people is, imagine you're gonna like pledge of allegiance. So your hand, my right hand is right by my left shoulder, and then I go back down, same thing. That's gonna make sure our swings are efficient, and it just keeps us in rhythm, right? So watch. Stays in unison with my body the entire time. And keep that same concept in mind when you do anything ballistic, so swinging with single arm. So cleans and snatches. It's a big help, especially in snatches. You really gotta be explosive. All right, 12 squats. It's a nice little leg burner superset. Just give you a side view. You can see club is far away from my body. Whew. And good. All right. 4 sets of that. Lower body's pumped up from those two. Now we're gonna move into some upper body stuff and have some fun. We're gonna get into some upper body work. So we are going to start with some single arm push press with the kettlebell. We're gonna shoot for 8 on each side. And then we're gonna do anywhere from 6 to 8 pullovers with the club. I'm gonna kind of have to see how that one feels. But 8 push press on each arm. Here we go. Okay, yeah, that'll get spicy for a few sets. Okay, so this club pullover, if you don't know, right hand is gonna be on top, right hand is off to the side. So this right elbow is against my body. I'm pulling up and over, so my right hand is gonna go past my right ear, back behind my head, and then I pull it back, all right? Trying not to lean back as I do it. Squeeze your butt super tight on these. Yeah, we're gonna go 8, 6. This is the bad side though, let's see. Oh yeah. That'll be good. That'll be good for 3 more sets. All right, that's 1 down, 3 more to go. All right, before we start this next set, I wanna talk real quick about proper front rack position when it comes to pressing with the kettlebell. So too many times I see people with this broken wrist right here. The flexing of the wrist, or doing this with our wrist, is super important. It's going to allow us to be in a stronger position and a much safer position for our wrist. If we're constantly holding our kettlebells like this, it is going to hurt our wrist at some point. We really want to let the kettlebell kind of sit on our forearm and our hand goes through, and we really have a nice flexed wrist. So again, like I said, that's going to give us a safer pressing position and a more efficient pressing position. I know that when your wrist is bent, it feels a little better on the forearm and it's not as abrasive. But this kettlebell sitting here is something you will get used to. This is something your wrist is not going to get used to, and it's going to start to hurt after a little while. So you've got to fix that. All right, let's do this last set. Oh man, my shoulder's getting tired from this one. Okay, 8 pullovers. Oh, wow. Whew. Sorry if the mic was a little muffled up there. I think it's a little tight. Okay, That's it for that superset. We're on to our last one. Oh God, now that I look at it, I think it's gonna be the worst one. All right, we are on to our final superset, which is going to be a nasty one. We're doing some single arm front rack reverse lunges. Probably the worst lunge variation there is. Then of course, we couldn't bring the club out without spinning some stuff around our head. We're gonna be doing 360s on the club, all right? So gonna aim for anywhere from 6 to 8 on each side for this kettlebell, these lunges, and then the club probably 10 on each side. We're gonna see how the shoulders are feeling. A little juiced up after that last one. Let's get this out of the way. All right, here we go. Same rule applies with this exercise with that front rack position. Now we can get our elbow up a little bit higher, but we still want to be in a safe position. Let's start with 6. We might go up later, but let's see how my shoulders feel after these 360s. God, those suck. And I kind of pussied out on them right there, only doing 6. Whew. All right, 360s each side, right hand on top, going over the left shoulder. Whew. Oh, those feel good. I almost forgot to talk about this whole workout is about minimalism. And this piece of equipment right here is fantastic for minimalism. So this is an 8X adjustable club. So this specific club that I have right here can be anywhere from 5 to 45 pounds in 2.5 pound increments. And this is all the space that it takes up. 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, so on and so forth, all the way up to 45. So it comes as a couple different pieces. I have these 2 big pieces on right now. So these are the add-on kit that make it from 25 to 45. It's a really good piece of equipment if you're interested in clubs. It is super durable. It obviously doesn't take up a ton of space as opposed to having, 15 clubs hanging around. Really good piece. And if you know me at all, you know I love clubs. I think they're awesome. So highly recommend that if you are looking to invest in some stuff. Slightly pricey, but it's worth it. You just get so much for what it's worth, honestly. There's just so much that comes out of it. So enjoy. Hey, last set. Been doing 6 on the lunges, but since you guys are watching, pushing me, we're gonna go 8 for this final set. Here we go. Whoo. 2. Oh, those last 2 make a difference. Whew. All right. So on this club, the last set, you'll notice my right hand's gonna be on top. I'm now gonna go over the same side shoulder. That is a way for me to switch it up, make sure I'm kind of getting both sides, is because I feel comfortable with club swings and 360s and club work. If you do not, I recommend just sticking with the variation and the way your hands are set that you feel comfortable. We still want to go over left shoulder and right shoulder, but whether or not we're switching our hands and doing different variations like that is dependent on your skill level and your confidence. All right, so just keep that in mind. 2 extra because you're watching. Whoops. Whew, that really turned into a freaking shoulder burner of a workout, and I loved it. All right, guys, and that's a wrap. That is all I got for you today. Like I said, minimalism at its finest today. You don't need a ton of space. You don't need a ton of fancy equipment. You don't need a ton of equipment at all. All right, obviously, the more you can have, the better, but just don't overthink it. I think there's too many people overthinking their training and thinking that they need a million different things and to switch things up all the time. You stick with the basics, you stick with a few pieces of equipment that you can really progress with and hammer with, you're gonna be just fine, right? If you wanna do more workouts like this, are going to be super time efficient, and you're gonna build functional strength, conditioning, and mobility doing them, 40 minutes a day, 4 times a week is all you need. Then go ahead and click the link in my description below so you can get 75% off your first 4 weeks of training. All you need is a few kettlebells and your body weight, or if you're interested in using kettlebells and barbells, we've got that covered for you as well, all right? I'll see you guys next time.